Hello everyone and welcome back to SAFC Fan TV for the very first ever opposition preview. To preview our game and get a little bit of insight into the opposition, I was joined by Dave Child. Dave is a massive Burton fan and TV and radio presenter. We had a little chat and here's how it went.
Alright, I'm here with Dave. Dave, how are you?
I'm good, mate. Yourself?
No, I'm good as well. Looking forward to the match at least. Hopefully we can pick up some points. Speaking of, I noticed you've won your last 2 games. And out of your last 4 games, you've won 3. Still sat rock bottom of the table though. Not been doing great this season. What's been changed in the last few weeks that hasn't been there beforehand?
Well, to be perfectly honest, like your good selves, we've swapped the manager. He did go well for Jack Buxton. It's a shame. But Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is back. Dino Mamria is his assistant. We've just changed everything that Jake was doing, I guess. And we've brought in an astonishing 11 players. So I haven't got a clue who's going to play from week to week now. But the training and the tactics are obviously both better. The injection of confidence is ridiculous. And to be perfectly honest, you don't want to be playing Burton anytime soon, if you can help it, because we are looking pretty decent at the minute.
Still sat bottom of the table. I want to.
Oh, cheers. Just bring us down to earth, Jack. Why don't you?
Yeah, of course, got to, man. Yeah, I mean, you said that you're kind of the tactics and formation have changed like that, but what formation are you playing and what kind of tactics do you aim to use now?
Well, for a start, we've now got a defence that doesn't concede any goals.
So any at all? They've not met Charlie White yet.
No, 3 clean sheets in the last 4 games.
Charlie White's
tells the story. Yeah, we're going to be all right. So we can nick it.
Charlie White's about to come and steal the party, though.
No, we're going to be all right. We can nick a goal at the other end. And I've seen Charlie. Yeah, we've looked at the Charlie White situation. Stop Aidan McGeady supplying and stop Charlie White from receiving. And I think we've got it pretty much covered, which is no disrespect to the rest of the lads. It's a team effort, we know. But Big Charlie's doing the business for you. And Aidan McGeady is probably your best player. That's debatable, but that's my opinion.
Easy said than done to stop Aidan McGeady, but kind of going forward, what type of football he is playing? You know, is it target man? Is it along the floor? Is it pressing? Is it counter attack?
Well, I was away from home. We're very much on the counter attack. You build your team from the back. So first thing is to make sure we don't concede any goals, because as you beautifully pointed out the last time we spoke ages ago, yeah, we had got the worst defence. We haven't now. We've tightened up. And yes, it's a shock to me as well, Jack. But yeah, so we're not conceded, and we always look as though we could score. And we've now got some players. I say we've got 11 new ones to choose from, so we're looking pretty decent in terms of who we can pick from. I think that'll be a problem for Sunderland, because they probably haven't got too much to look at in terms of, well, how did Burton play, and who's the man to watch. I don't know. That's up to you guys. I'm sure Lee Johnson's had a crafty look at the previous videos. We'll see.
Yeah. No, I hate it when opposition fans are there, because I always want to know what players to look out for. And like some fans say, oh, we don't have really a main man going forward. I think you said last time it was Charles Vernon who was playing on the left, but I noticed that he's actually left now. So if he's got like a linchpin going forward, or like a main attacking outlet who tends to create or score the most for you, obviously you just touched on, we've got McGeady and White who tend to cause the most problems for oppositions for us.
Well, it's still early days for even me looking at the side. I can't even remember off them. I have to write them down, and you think, well, who's he, But we've got, one of the big changes is obviously we haven't got such an old squad now. Some of them were nearly as old as me, which is really worrying.
Wow.
But, that old, yeah. But seriously, we've got some young lads. We've got a decent pair of fullbacks in there now. We've got a young lad from Blackburn on loan called Hayden Carter, who was really good at the back. And I'm sure he'll get very, very close to Charlie White. He'd better do. But yeah, the rest of the side, yeah, it's pretty new going forward. There won't be too many players there that you will recognise from the last time we played. Lucas Higgins, I think, will play. Ryan Edwards is actually on fire. You probably saw the goal he scored against Northampton. Well, that was in. You've not seen it. You've not seen it.
If I've had that reaction,
the goal.
I've not seen it.
Well, take a look, mate. Take a look. You can vote for it as the AFL goal of the weekend.
I'll be voting for Charlie White.
No. He could score 4, but not as good as the one that Ryan scored.
I don't. You won't be saying that when he's on the plane to the Euros.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. So Ryan Edwards definitely one to watch. John Brayford, I think, will just about keep his place. We'll have to wait and see on that. And really, maybe 3, maybe 4 players tops. The rest of them are all new lads either signed or on loan, and they're pretty young, they're pretty hungry, and they haven't got that losing mentality that we probably had before, Jack, to be perfectly honest, which is a plus.
Are you just confident now that things are turning around and things are going your way? Because you look at the form you're in. You know, you're in the type of form of a side that's going to be pushing for the top. Really, I know you've got a lot of points to claw back, but you're getting there. Do you think that's the way things are going to go towards the end of the season now?
I do. I mean, just take a look at that bottom four now. Burton Albion have actually got a game in hand over 3 of the teams above. We've got 2 games in hand over Swindon. So 1 win takes us out of the bottom 4. That's spare game. So if we could win that, we're out the bottom 4. Yeah, I'm very, very optimistic. Straight enough, how could I be this optimistic and happy when we're bottom of the table, as you keep reminding me? But yeah, we're going to get out of this, mate. We really are. The confidence is really high. Jimmy has put some smiles back on everybody's faces, and he's the sort of guy that's worth listening to. When he talks, folk listen. And we're pleased to have him, and it's going to work out. I'm sure it is.
I think it's a similar story with Lee Johnson. He's got such an enthusiastic way of talking. You know, when he talks, I listen to him. And I guess there's probably no better team you'd rather face right now than the team that you always tend to get one over in us. You know, you want at some points, you want a good run. We always seem to drop points to Burton Albion.
Well, we hope that's the case. I mean, let's just say this now. I don't want you to get any points on Saturday, obviously. But after that, I hope you get in the playoffs and get what you want, funnily enough. But no, you're quite right. We've never lost at the Stadium of Light. Just thought I'd get that one in while I've got the chance. But at the Pirelli, 2 meetings in the Championship, you beat us 2-0. But obviously, when we played in 2018, we beat you 2-1. So I don't know. You know what Sunderland are like for draws. They love a good draw, or they used to. Well, Burton, you know, tend to win 1-0 and not concede. So I don't know. It might lean towards a draw, but I hope not. But
yeah,
we'll wait and see.
We'll get on a prediction in just a moment. But I mean, you're saying that the defence is significantly improving and that you're telling it to go. But are there any main weak points? Are there any areas where you still look at the team and you get worried? Maybe it's a defender, a midfielder, or attacker, or maybe it's just certain tactics you tend to use that tends to exploit yourselves at times and leave yourselves wide open.
Well, certainly defensively, no. The goalkeeper, we've got 3 goalkeepers. O'Hara, the lad that's in at the minute, Ben Garrett. I wouldn't say he's the best of the 3, but his form has been really decent under Jimmy. That's why Jimmy's picking him. And we've got a lad called Dylan Barnes who's come in, 6'5", looks a bit like a young David James from Queen's Park Rangers. He's not even got near the team yet. So that's how good Garrett's been playing. But he hasn't had many saves to make. That's because the 4 in front of him look decent, look actually in control, and look organised. So, yeah, Josh Earl, the left fullback, looks decent. 6 foot 3 inches of him from Preston on loan. We've got a lad called Ben Hamer who may play right fullback, or John Brayford may. He's got a long throw. We've not had a player with a long throw for a long time. And Hayden Carter at centre back, wonderful player, still young. He will get in Blackburn's team at some point, but we're just grateful we've got him at the moment. So, yeah, defensively we look good. So, where are there any weaknesses? I'd like to think we could find a goal scorer from somewhere, but at the minute we're spreading it around the team, and we ain't got Charlie White.
We might have one. We might have one.
But yeah, you've got an abundance of players that can score goals, but it's we're from Charlie full stop, which should be worrying for you guys.
Yeah, I guess it is a little bit concerning that if something was to happen to White, you know, who else is going to come in and score goals? But anyway, I talk about Sunderland all the time. I digress. We're going to kind of wrap things up now with a prediction and how I think the game's going to go. So touch on a lot of the things you've said. I can see it being quite a tight game. So you're in great form. We're not in the best of form, but then I would kind of expect us to cancel each other out because I would back us to win anyway. I know Burton are a bogey team, but regardless, you know, we are a lot higher up the table than yourselves.
You are.
I think going into the game, you can expect quite a tight, tough game. Maybe I think we'll go for it certainly because we are quite a bold side. We are just going to attack on the front foot and go for it. But do you think you're going to kind of cope with that quite well? And how do you see the game going?
Very much so. If you guys go for it, that'll actually play into Burton's hands very nicely. We're very good at soaking it up. Look what happened to Hull City not that long ago. Last time out at the Pirelli, and yeah, as long as we don't actually concede, that'll be the first job done. Jimmy's very keen that we don't. So that first bit needs to be right. Don't concede, don't lose the game. And then, yeah, can we pinch a goal? against one of the better teams in the division? Yeah, I think we can.
You
And
flatter
that's
us,
what
Dave.
we'll do.
You flatter us.
Yeah, well, I'm just a bit of bull, actually, really. But, yeah, I can't, I like you guys, but not on Saturday. How about that?
You're a canny little club. We'll put it that way.
Oh, I love that. That's lovely. Oh, I won't hear that around here. He says we're a canny little club. Well, wonderful.
Yeah. Have you got a score prediction before we finish?
Absolutely, mate. Yeah. In fact, I'll put it out on Twitter as well. Jimmy usually does it, and he goes like that. 1-0 to the Brewers.
1-0. Just keep it tight and nick a goal.
That'll do for me.
Well, I'm going to predict a 2-0 Sunderland win because I think the former at the moment I can't see Charlie White not scoring. I can't see Charlie White not scoring.
He won't score, mate. Yeah, we've had a good look. He ain't scoring on Saturday. End of.
He's on fire at the moment, man. Southgate will be there in the stands.
Yeah, well, Grigg used to be, but he got put out, didn't he?
I think he might have made a return to Oxford the other day, though. Anyway, Dave, thanks for coming on. I think we'll leave it there.
As for ourselves, not much major reporting goal. Lee Burge did make a bit of a mistake on Wednesday night, in my opinion. A lot of people saying that he did well to save it, but personally I think he should have caught the ball. But all three goalkeepers are available. Personally, I'll be going with Burge. Although I wouldn't be too disappointed if Patterson was to be given a chance, but I think it's important that we pick a goalkeeper now and we stick with it. Defensively, it looks as if Bailey Wright could be out. He did pick up a calf injury on Wednesday night in the semi-final. Hopefully he was only taken off as a precaution, but it doesn't look as if it's good news. If he is injured, however, Dion Sanderson is available to come back in after being cup-tied on Wednesday, and Oliver Younger appears to be coming back to fitness as well after his injury from the under-23 side. I wouldn't expect Tom Flanagan to make an appearance, as he is still looks to be injured and still returning to fitness. Really, I think playing him the week might have been a bit of a mistake in hindsight, really. So it's centre back was between Dion Sanderson, Oliver Younger, and potentially Conor McLaughlin as well. Both Luke Onan and Conor McLaughlin did a good job at centre back on Wednesday night and kept, for the most part of the game, kept Lincoln City the best side in the league on paper out. So there's nothing to say that they can't come in and do a half decent job. Having said that, that probably means Max Power have to play at right back. At left back, it's between Jake Vokins and Callum McFadden, as Dion Sanderson will probably be forced into playing centre back, really, and those are the only two left backs available. McFadden had a slightly better game on Wednesday, despite, in my opinion, still being at fault for the goal. Hopefully he can pick up a little bit of form in playing against lesser opposition. They might be under a little bit less pressure. In midfield, you probably expect Grant Lever to play. If Max Power was playing at right back, I think he likes to have one of those in the midfield to control things. Be nice to see Dan Neil get some minutes as well. He had quite a good game on Wednesday night. I thought he did okay. Be nice to see him feature again. Didn't do a lot, but it's his first few minutes in probably since MK Dons in the cup. Nice to see him get a bit of a consistent run going. Speaking of, I would also like to see consistent run for Luke Onan in the midfield, so it'd be nice to see him come back in. Going forward, it's clear Aidan McGeady is the key to getting Charlie White goals in this division, and Charlie White is just on form. He seems to be putting away, I think on paper he's actually scored more than a goal every game since Lee Johnson's came in, so you can't expect him to drop him really. Although Ross Stewart is expected to be not injured at the very least, I'm not sure if he'll be fit, but you never know, he could make an appearance on the bench, as I don't believe he's injured anymore. On the other side, it would be nice to see Jordan Jones come in. I think Lyndon Gooch was quite poor on Wednesday night. Jack Diamond's also available, but I would like to see Jordan Jones. I don't think he's been given much of a run in the team, and I think his pace is just too much to miss out on, especially with McGeady on the other side, who doesn't tend to have that quite burst of pace. It's more that quality on the ball that he's got with the age he's at. We will be watching the game live on Saturday. I believe it is myself, Wee Philly and Michael Bowers, although I'm not entirely sure. For the watch along, as always, please tune into that if you do like it. We'll be starting probably 2:30 or 2:45, one of the two. Have a big talk about the team beforehand and report on the game as it's going. Have a little commentary and analysis be in the live chat as well. Any of your comments, drop them in there. Please don't subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The subscriptions have been through the roof recently. We didn't not too long ago hit 5,000 subscribers, and we've grown ever since then. And please do like the video as well if you did enjoy the video, if you got something from it. And we will see you on Saturday for the watch along and on Sunday for the Sunday Bunch Live at 7.